My wife told me to shut my mouth in front of everyone. My wife and I are at odds lately over her Sil, who is also her best friend, who is married to her brother. Long story short, she bends over backwards to accommodate their every ask, including babysitting, errands etc. This extends to volunteering me to help them without my knowledge or consent etc. She never sees my point of view or agrees with any criticism of them I have. We were at my nephew's birthday party today. My Sil is the one who's hosting it, so my wife is super keen for things to go well. Things were going okay. My daughter, 3, was a bit upset because her balloon animal had accidentally been popped. So she's standing with my wife getting a cuddle, and a boy, older than her, 5 of 6, sprints into her and knocks her over. She's crying obviously, and I pick her up. My wife is making a joke of it saying oh she needs to watch where she's going. I said back to her don't blame her for getting bowled over by the bigger boy. Now, apparently the mother of this other kid was in earshot, which prompted my wife to tell me, in front of one of her other best friends and a couple of other guests, to shut my mouth. Then she had the cheek to tell me to not have a moody face. 15 minutes before this post, I sent an email to a divorce lawyer for a consultation. I've finally reached my limit. Update, same post. Firstly, I'd just like to thank everyone for your responses, supportive or otherwise. Being heard and listened to is such a mental boost. I spoke to my solicitor first thing this morning, and we had a good talk. He knows that I'm angry and upset at the situation, and he says that he will get myself and my wife in for a consultation if we decide to go down that route. The issue in Scotland is that for a divorce where only one party wants out, it can take upwards of a year to get it, and evidence of separation in that period, unless both parties agree to unreasonable behavior as the reason for the courts granting the divorce. Long story short, I can't proceed without her buy-in, if I want it resolved fast. So I took my daughter to my mum's after this, and then sat my wife down. I told her that yesterday's situation was absolutely unacceptable, and that if I had told her to shut her mouth in front of my friends, that I'd be getting crucified from everyone we know. I told her she was lucky I kept my mouth shut at the party, and that I didn't give a fuck about how Sil would have taken it. We fought again about Sil, and again, she defended her actions, saying that I'm the selfish one who won't help out my family when they need it. I then did the, perhaps petty, move of dropping divorce leaflets I'd printed from my solicitor's website in front of her. I said to her I absolutely want to help my family, and this is how I do it. I told her about how I was tired of playing third wheel in my own marriage, and I told her that I was not prepared to subject my daughter to a lifetime of this subservience. Finally, it looks like what I've said has had an impact. She cried and I think she was close to having a panic attack. This made me feel guilty, because fundamentally I don't think she's a bad person, she's just brainwashed into thinking Sil is the second coming of the Messiah. So she promised that when I've finished work today we can have a serious talk about things, and she will listen to my concerns. Right now I'm not buying it, but I owe her and my daughter at least a chance to sort things out. So I'll see where it goes. To answer some questions folks had, I know this seemed like an overreaction to something, but you've got to understand this was the latest in a long line of Sil-related issues. Some folks have asked if my wife is gay and in love. I have thought about this as a possibility. I didn't ask her yet, but I may tonight. It certainly seems logical given how passionate she gets about it. Thanks everyone for reading, and especially all of you who have DM'd me, I appreciate it more than you know. Update 2, same post. Hi again everyone, thanks for all of your continued support and advice. I wanted to put another update on to let you know what was happening. So we sat down last night for the crunch talks. I have to give her credit where it's due, she apologized for what she said at the party, and she said that she'd also have considered divorce if I'd done the same to her. I reiterated to her that my issue is that she completely makes herself subservient to Sil at our expense. I pointed out how messed up it was that she didn't immediately take our daughter's side in this incident. The collision was accidental, I think, but I told her that to blame the little one was out of line, which she accepted. I then asked her outright if she had any sort of romantic feelings for Sil. She squirmed and looked a little uncomfortable. She said that a long time ago at the end of high school there had been a drunken kiss on a night out, but nothing beyond that. She sort of played the angle that she didn't want anyone, especially her brother, to know about it, and that's why she bends over backwards to make sure Sil is happy. I asked her if Sil had ever threatened to reveal this incident, but she denies that it's even been brought up. She just thinks that if the wider family knew, it'd bring up a lot of weirdness. She swears that she has no interest in having any kind of relationship with Sil, and that she's straight. I told her I didn't care about what she did that long ago, but that it needed to stop impacting our relationship in the present because I am the thinnest of thin hairs away from walking away forever. She, surprisingly, apologized again, and said that she'd really try to work on it. I told her that I needed to see some proof of that, so she can consider herself on probation. I told her that if I feel that it's happened again, I'll be taking our daughter to stay at my mom's. She accepted this, so we're proceeding cautiously. Sorry if this isn't the update you were all hoping for, but I think it's the best thing for the three of us right now. Update 2. I've posted here many times about issues I've had with my wife, most commonly with regards to her subservience to her best friend turned sister-in-law, SIL. She's promised to try and work on this, given how much it's impacted our marriage, but today I think we passed the point of no return. You see, today is my birthday, it's past midnight now though. This morning my daughter, who is nearly 4, gave me huge hugs and kisses, which was great. My wife gave me a card, and told me that my gift hadn't arrived in the post yet. My suspicion is that she's yet to order it, or ordered it late, whatever it may be. I then logged into my work, and did my shift like any other day. My wife was off work, while my daughter was at my mom's for a visit. Nothing special was planned for the evening, because there were plans in place already. Just that those plans didn't include me. Sil and a couple of my wife's other friends had arranged to go out for dinner and drinks, because a voucher Sil had for a particular restaurant expired soon, and my birthday was the only date they could all make. Shitty, right? Gets better though, because my wife made a big social media post wishing me a happy birthday, saying how crap it was that I had to work all night on my birthday, a complete lie. But it does make her look less bad in public for not spending my birthday with me. The issue is, because she's done this, I now couldn't make plans with friends or family without exposing her lie. So, yeah. Great birthday. When I think about how she'd react if I had pulled half the shit she has pulled, I can't see it ending any other way than me getting screamed at, even though she's chosen to spend my birthday with Sil instead of me. On the plus side, I did some Warhammer painting after I collected my daughter and played with her a bit before bed. She also asked why Mummy wasn't here, which kind of crushed me. Am I wrong to be annoyed about this? Update 2. Hi again everyone. I just wanted to say firstly, thank you very much for all of your responses and private messages. Many of you were supportive, and many of you, rightfully upon reflection, told me that I needed to grow some backbone and sort my shit out. I've been sitting on this for a few days, because the full events of what has transpired since then have blown my mind, and have brought home some very harsh truths about my relationship. But I also wanted to see if what went down would actually stick, and so far it has. The fun question out of the way first, for those who were asking about my painting, I was painting some Thousand Sons Terminators. So starting the day after my birthday, my wife initiated sex, and let me tell you, this was an occasion in itself. I legitimately could not tell you the last time that this happened, it's been that long. I'm thinking to myself, maybe she's feeling guilty about yesterday and she's trying to make it up. After the deed was done, she turns round to me and says your present won't be here for another couple of days, that will have to do for now. I'm pretty disappointed at this point, not because I had a huge desire for a particular gift, but because she felt that her behavior the day before was fine. And then for her to think I'll use sex to cover up my fuck up, was also a bit of a blow. Whatever, I've sucked up worse before and powered through. What broke me was her opinion on Sil's birthday. Long story short, for those who don't know, Sil is possibly my least favorite person on the planet due to her parasitic behavior and main character syndrome. Coincidentally, it's a couple of weeks after mine. My wife told me all about her birthday plans for her. She wanted to get her a gift for her favorite massage therapist. What was the big deal? The shop only sells paper vouchers, and it's a 3-hour round trip to the shop. So off she went, again leaving me with my daughter, and what commenced next can only be described as 3 hours of my brain, simmering slowly towards an explosion. I took my daughter to my brother's house, because I knew that when my wife came back I was going to explode. When she came back, I was sitting in the living room with a bag packed for me, and in an admittedly petty move, and one packed for my daughter. This immediately got her attention, and she demanded to know what was going on. I unloaded it all. It wasn't coherent, and I definitely got more emotional as I unloaded more grievances. I started by telling her it was unacceptable how she completely screwed up my birthday, while making Sil's birthday a major priority. How I was sick of feeling like a third wheel in my own marriage. How I had literally sacrificed my personality on the altar of keeping her happy, and how I never saw my friends anymore, yet she could do whatever she wanted. How I take care of the house despite working more hours than her for not even a shred of gratitude. How she used, lack of, sex as a tool of manipulation and control. I cried and shouted. She did the same and vehemently denied all of my accusations. She demanded to know where our girl was, and I told her. I told her that she would not be using her as a bargaining chip against me. We eventually calmed down enough to agree that I would keep her at our house, while she temporarily stayed with her mom and dad. I agreed to drop her off for visits while we worked things out. It's been a few emotionally exhausting days. I feel drained, spent and tired. But I have my little girl, and I feel like I have done what I could. I don't know what my relationship status is right now. We haven't been speaking, except to arrange drop-offs, and I'm comfortable with that for now. I need some more time before I consider more permanent steps. I've never ever unloaded on her like this before, but Jesus Christ, it felt good, even if she continued to deny everything.